Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to ESFL Sunday. ESFL 178 is live, in effect, live on Twitch and on YouTube. We are in our third event of this brand new PS5 season. I am your host and commentator for the evening, Kingsley. Alongside me is the one, the only. It's been a while since we've been in the booth together, but he is here tonight, and that is Frank. How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? It's your man Frank, no streaming. You can call me Frank from Kingsley. I'm happy to be back in the booth, man. It's been way too long, and I'm glad to remedy that with a fantastic fight card over on the PlayStation side of things. Always great to be back in the ESFL. Always great to be back in the booth with you, and always great to have some of these, fantastic fights in Virtual Octagon to share with the people. So I'm looking forward to getting into it, man.
Yeah, and what a time for you to join us. We are in our third event of the season. There's only going to be 8 events in the season, but now with this current event, a title is on the line as it's been in the previous 2 events. But this one is to be the biggest of them all. Driz is going against MG in the 5-round main event. And in the co-main, it's going to be Bum versus DonData. As we take a look at the whole entire fight card for today, 8 amazing fights for you guys on the PS5 side. Some people looking to climb their way back up into 500, and then the main ones, as we just talked about, PS5 titles on the line. A #1 contendership is on the line, a part with so many trying to fortify their stature into the PS5 rankings here, Frank. When you look at this card in total, what are you looking forward to the most when you see this whole thing?
Oh, for sure. Looking forward to seeing Treehouse back in action. He's going to be taking on Jxssiem, and Treehouse is one of the best grapplers, in the EA Sports UFC 5 scene, and has been for a while. So always, looking forward to seeing what he's able to get done. And naturally, the main event has a ton of eyes on it. Driz versus MG for that coveted title fight. And, you've got to win the title and then defend it to get points in which you can get that real ESFL title shipped to you. And Driz is looking to, make a statement and do just that here today. So looking forward to seeing who's going to get the win in that one.
Yeah, because the winner of the whole entire season, when it counts to successful defenses, that's what the leaderboard is going to be counting on. Whoever gets the most defenses will be the winner and gets a real-life belt at the end of this PS5 season. So a lot to be at stake for. No one has had a successful defense. Titles have been changing left and right. Will Driz be the one to be undisputed after being overlooked in the championship tournament? We'll have to find out, but so much good things are coming along the way, especially when we try to find out who is going to be fight of the night. And I feel like the way we're going to be starting this one with our first fight, that has to be a contender, because our first fight is ready to go. It's going to be K1 Cook going against Ziggy Boy 777. And Frank, when you look at this, both guys are trying to make their debut, trying to climb and take the spotlight away. What do you have any information about these two gentlemen?
Yeah, they're both, like you said, looking to climb. This fight was actually scheduled for last week, but Cook had to pull out due to technical issues. They've been rivals going back to before the launch of UFC 5. And yeah, this is Ziggy's Season 2 debut. He was 1-2 in Season 1, so he's going to be looking to make a strong impact here to start things in Season 2. And just looking to turn things around. Sometimes you need to take some time off, get some things figured out. And, Ziggy thinks he's done just that and is looking to get the dub here against Cooked. We got a Leon Edwards versus a Jorge Masvidal pick, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen here, Kingsley.
Yeah, here we go. The first fight of ESFL 178. Again, this is our first fight out of 8 on live on Twitch and on YouTube. Ziggy Boy using Jorge Masvidal in the blue gloves, and K1 Cooked on the left side using Leon Edwards. And right now, as you said, been rivals since before UFC 5, so this is going to be a battle of the biggest haters. Probably the biggest weekend for the biggest haters to jump in. As we saw yesterday, so many crazy things happen in the atmosphere of combat sports. But now, as we see kind of a takedown defense from Ziggy Boy, he needs to get on his horse and try to find his way to get some hooks on his opponent.
Well, right now, Ziggy Boy's been doing a good job poking at the body, trying to make sure that, any damage that he takes, any stamina he burns is going to be at least mitigated or evened up, because, if you start digging to the body early, that's an investment that can really pay dividends later on if you don't get caught by an uppercut, which is extremely easy to do in this game. So right now, K1 Cooked is looking to take all of that out of the equation and takes this fight to the ground, has the back of Masvidal, now has the top mount. So we're going to look to see how much damage Cooked can get done here.
I mean, he's in prime position as he gets a posture up in the full mount. Gets 2, maybe 3, even a nice elbow for his troubles. K1 Cook scoring points easily, but Ziggy Boy was able to defend those 2 takedowns in the beginning of the fight, but then just kind of suffered into the submission of Cook, taking him down. And now this has to be a chess game for Ziggy Boy as he's able to get a reversal and try to go for a submission right here. This could be trouble for him.
Could be trouble, but it is immediately escaped, and now Edwards once again cooked in top position. But now he's got his back up against the cage, does a good job of getting out of that position, and stops Ziggy Boy from getting the get up. Some good groundwork here early on from Cooked.
Yeah, 2 minutes remaining in the first round of 3 of this contest right here, and Ziggy Boy so far getting taken down, staying in his bottom ground position. K1 Cooked just having a nice field day with Leon Edwards. We know that he's used with his kickboxing, but his ground game is very underrated when it comes to UFC 5. So the fact that he's able to trouble in is doing well, but now Ziggy Boy able to get back up. Now let's see if he could just answer back and get some points as he scored with a nice left hook right there.
Yeah, he's Ziggy Boy is looking to really turn the offense on. Got some good shots in there, a couple of good combos. Now he's trying to turn the pressure on, maybe try to, you know, dissuade Cook from going for that takedown, but a nice front kick to the body is going to back him up a little bit there.
Yeah, good leg kicks. That's what you love to see. And nice shots to the body, trying to change the levels, but elbows coming in nice from Cook. Cook doing a nice job managing the distance, trying to avoid the kicks as much as possible. But when it gets inside, with it landing with a nice uppercut, he will do damage with 30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, doing damage. 30 seconds left, and ducks a good hook there. You gotta, you know, you gotta wonder if he's gonna look for the counter later on in the fight with that. Starting to pick up on some of the patterns of Ziggy Boy here.
Yeah, trying to feint and try to go for an uppercut right there. Ziggy Boy was not able to land. Trying to go for a head kick too, but leads him down. But it will be the end of the round, so it might be a Hail Mary shot. As we see the stats, 37-30 in favor of K1 Cook. The takedowns, the significant strikes, all in favor. So you have to think that could be his round right there.
Could be his round. You know, he had a lot of good ground control time there, and really starting to find a rhythm in this fight. But Ziggy Boy, like we had said, has gotten some good offense in, gotten some good combos, and we're gonna see who's really gonna start to take the edge and damage here as round 2 gets underway.
Yeah, and again, this is Ziggy's debut. K1 Cook has already fought in this contest before. He lost to Fortified, so he's used to the ESFL spotlight. Ziggy Boy, this is his first attempt in this season to get on the board, so maybe the jitters could be playing in, but right now, he's pushing the pressure. He's trying to go over it right here.
Oh, a huge uppercut.
Fish his rock. He says, bump all the ground play. We're hitting him with bombs, especially with the uppercut, knocking him down.
Yeah, and then he was starting to mix some shots into the body there too. I like that. Oh, but another uppercut and the spear takedown by Leon Edwards. Now he's on top and side control, and they're, well, no, I was about to say I thought they were evened up on knockdowns, but no, he got a takedown instead. But either way, could still look to finish the fight and more importantly, recover some health, get himself out of danger, and not have to worry about those huge uppercuts coming back.
And you had to feel for Ziggy, right? You were able to get a rock. You felt like you had some type of momentum. But when you go for that overhand and you get caught perfectly into a rock situation and get speared, you're back into the same situation that you were in the first round. So could he possibly try to get a submission here? Will he try to find a way to get back up? Because it took him like maybe 2 minutes in game time for him to get back up. And he's running down the clock. He can't afford to lose this type of round right here.
Yeah, but I don't think it's something that Ziggy would be, I mean, should be too discouraged about. You know, nothing to worry too heavily about. That said, he does keep allowing the full mount, and Cook might be able to get some big damage here or go for an arm bar. So as I'm talking about, he might not have much to worry about. You know, they could prove me wrong immediately.
It's going to be very close.
Now he gets a
the
denial.
stamina is very low, but the denial's there and able to get into a little bit of a guard right here. Ziggy taking his time left. He has 2 minutes to play with the second round. Will he try to get his way to get up? He needs to make sure he doesn't get reversed, and that's the worst possible thing that can happen as he gets 2 straight denials with 145 left. Cooked is on his ground game specialty right here, Frank.
Yeah, right now, Cooked has a very clear path to victory. It looks like he's got just a bit more of an advantage here on the ground, and if I was him, I'd be looking to keep this fight here at not all costs, but it would be option A for sure.
I mean, hey, when you got the ingredients of the Leon Edwards, you got the recipe, you're working on the ground as to add a little bit spice to your game. It's just working out so perfectly. But a nice reversal says Ziggy Boy, you're like, hold up, it's my turn to be in the kitchen and lay some damage onto your head as he goes for a posture up, landing some hooks, getting that block gauge a little bit low, but needs to do a little bit more. He only has 40 seconds left here, Frank.
Yeah, 40 seconds left, but that's still plenty of time, especially in the fight game, man. I mean, it only takes one to change the entire complexion of this. Maybe not, you know, in the ground and pound here in EAUFC 5, but that said, some good damage comes through, and, you know, one more flurry like that, and he could be looking at a potential rock or, you know, just taking a lot of that head held down.
Honestly, this could be really good. There was like 3 straight posture up opportunities. He was able to get the significant strikes and the total strikes to his benefit. So Ziggy Boy maybe is not a 2-round deficit that he might be dealing with, but you can't leave it up to just, I mean, look at that uppercut.
I would honestly say
that was huge.
I would honestly say he still won the round just based on the merit of that knockdown, because while Edwards did do a lot of good work on the ground, I don't think any of it was nearly as damaging or as impactful as that knockdown was. That could be something that changes, you know, the entire complexion of this fight. And can he follow up and capitalize? A big elbow there lands for Ziggy Boy, who's looking like he's feeling it on the feet right now.
Yeah, but he needs to hit a jackpot. He needs to hit those 777s in that octagon right here, because right now you have to feel confident if you're cooked. Even though you got knocked down, the ground game has been great. He's still going.
Oh my goodness!
But an elbow, I mean a knee, excuse me, from Ziggy Boy will kind of make Cook fall back a little bit, be on a little bit of a back foot. It seems like the striking game has benefited Ziggy Boy a little bit more, as we see toe strikes landed 57-48, but now Ziggy Boy's coming on right here.
Yeah, but Cook looks very patient right now. It looks like he's looking for that opportunity to try and slip and rip, because he's kind of looking like he's figuring out the timing and when to throw back at Ziggy Boy. Now, that said, is he going to take too much damage in looking for that opening?
I mean, it was a wicked right hook coming from Cook as he's trying to go for another takedown, not able to get it. It gets 2 punches for his benefit. Nice uppercut right there. Blinking head help for Ziggy Boy. Ziggy Boy needs to find a way to not trade in the phone booth as he's still got plenty of time to go. Tries to go for a spinning roundhouse, not able to get it. Going for a takedown. Cook is trying to land him down, but good defense from Ziggy Boy.
Great defense. I mean, he switched the takedown 2-3 times, and Ziggy Boy was hip to it each of them, and just able to keep himself standing and just keep the offense flowing right now. Ziggy Boy looks like he has got this thing right where he wants it and is just trying to figure out what shot he needs to put him down and keep him there.
Yeah, that was like 5 straight body shots that we saw, and it made his opponent whip. But the stamina was low, and the rock was there. Cooking is cooked as he's trying to land the knockout blow, but not able to get it. Overhand, trying to land for Ziggy Boy, but he's just going for the home run hit, and he's not getting the right opportunity. Head kick missing, but a spear takedown lands for Cooked.
High risk, and he did not get the reward he was looking for with that head kick. Now he's in bottom position. He's leaking on the right side, and Edwards has a minute and a half to get a lot done. We'll see what exactly transpires here, but Ziggy Boy just staying busy from the bottom and uses that grapple advantage to get himself back to the feet. So now we're right back on even footing here, Kingsley. Who's gonna fall first? That's the only question here.
I mean, we see the knees, we see the roundhouse. It seems like Ziggy Boy is coming for the home run. He's able to get a double, but can he round home and get the point as he lands an uppercut? No way! It was all in his hands, but Cook might be finally cooked as he gets knocked down again, as Ziggy Boy has taken the top position with 35 seconds left to go.
He's still up against the cage and Cooked. Man, you got 30 seconds. What are you made of, man? Are you gonna, you know, do you go quietly into that good night? Do you try and, you know, hope that you've got the other 2 rounds in the bank? The body shots it, the rings on the wall. Can you survive for 5 more seconds?
3 seconds, it will go to the judges, as that was a blister of a final round as Ziggy Boy able to knock down his opponent twice. The leg kicks, the body shots, and the uppercuts, the faithful uppercuts for Ziggy Boy might have taken this whole fight away from Cooked after his superior ground game.
Yeah, that uppercut did a lot of damage. I feel like that was his most effective strike throughout the night. Landed a knockdown with it in the second round and was just really able to use that to set up a lot of combos. And it seemed like there in the third round, he was doing such a good job mixing up the shots, where they were coming from, which angle. You know, he had Cooked just a little bit, I don't want to say over his head, but maybe just a little bit thinking too much. Inside of his head is the phrase I was looking for.
Let's see what Bruce Buffer has to say about this contest.
And Judge Driz scores it 9-27 with a winner by majority decision.
Majority decision goes to... It goes to Ziggy Boy with a majority decision. The knockdowns, the stand-up game was the best outcome for Ziggy Boy as he was getting dominated on the ground, but able to get out of it, defend as much as possible, and use his hands to do tucking as he is 1-0 in the new ESFL PlayStation season.
Yes, very good fight. I wish we could see the scorecards. I'm sorry I was yapping over those. That's my bad. I apologize, y'all.
You're good,
but
you're good.
Either way, Ziggy Boy able to land 3 knockdowns, had the edge in striking just completely. But as you mentioned, those takedowns and the ground control of Cook were doing very effective work keeping him in this fight. I can't talk this morning, I'm sorry. But that said, these guys put on a great fight, and respect to both competitors. Congratulations to Ziggy on a job well done. Gets a W to start his ESFL Season 2.
Yeah, honestly, it was a good showing, and what we said before we even went to the fight is that every fight has the potential of being Fight Night, and that was a great way to start it. That was definitely going to be on the eyes the way that it seemed like it was going to be a comeback, but Ziggy Boy was still within it. Both guys had different types of strategies when it came to the fight. Just one proved to be better and able to be Ziggy Boy, and now he's undefeated. He's 1-0 with so many more events ready to go for the ESFL for this PlayStation season. He might be ready to get higher up in the rankings, so we'll have to find out. And as you guys have just joined us, you missed out on a great fight. Welcome to ESFL 178. I'm your host, Kingsley. Alongside me is Frank. We are live here on Twitch and on YouTube, ready to go with some amazing fights. And we're going to keep the train going, keep your predictions going as well, live on Twitch chat as well. As we got our next fight ready to go, is going to be Elite Kings going against ATR Wicked, who are both trying to find their first win of this contest in the bantamweight division.
Yeah, they're both trying to find their first win. Both guys 0-1. Wicked lost his debut last week, and Elite King was a last-minute replacement at 177 and lost to Jxssiem in a great matchup. But he's not looking for great matchups. He's looking for wins. At the end of the season, it's not going to matter how many great matchups you had. It's going to be about how many title defenses you had. And the only way you can get those is by getting wins. So that's what both these guys are looking to do here. And both these guys are looking to get that W. That's the best part about the fight game, man. One of you guys has to win.
Yeah, someone else has to go, but for like the betterment. Like, it's not going to be determined if you lose that but there's something about like these type of fights, especially in the prelims, where both guys are hungry, they're starving for a victory, and it's so early in the season. You don't know how this molded clay is going to be. There's still enough time to shape your destiny when it comes to the new season. And with a Peter Young going against a Corey Sandhagen, this is sure to be something that is going to be a crazy knockout brawl.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what they have in store for us here. We've got sorry, I'm trying to figure out who's using who.
So
Elite King is using Jan. There it is.
Yeah, Peter Young in the blue gloves.
The
And Wicked in the red gloves on the left side using Corey Sandhagen. Already, as we said, the striking is going to be pinnacle as we see a nice uppercut landing as both guys are fighting the phone booth. Good combinations coming from Elite King as both guys, you know, not resting on the laurels, not trying to gauge the distance, more of just attacking first and being aggressive, trying to get that first victory.
Like what Elite King did there, just throwing a little threat of the grappling in there, trying to test the waters with the, you know, with the takedown, just kind of see, is he ready for it? And you know, Wicked absolutely was. Gets a nice front kick there as well. He's doing a lot of work with these up the middle shots, the front kicks, the uppercuts, and we're gonna see if Elite King is able to pick up on that going forward. As he misses a roundhouse kick and eats one in return. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I love the body kicks. I love the body work that we're seeing, changing up everything just to make sure you're just not head hunting. give your opponent so much stuff to think about. As we see, as both guys try to pull and just work into the body. Usually people try to go for 1-2 straight to the head, but going for those pulls and then attacking the body, that decreases the stamina a lot more. But you can't go willy-nilly where you go for an overhead and get strike. But now they're going back and forth like a tennis match, and both guys are just swinging for the fences.
Yeah, both guys are starting to figure out the timing, figure out what strikes their opponent's going to throw. In that case, is a flying knee. But yeah, they're both just getting out of the way and landing shots in return. I'm curious to see who makes that first mistake, but a beautiful takedown there by Wicked to just change things up, maybe get a different look and just take this fight down a different avenue. See what we got here. Never mind, he doesn't like that. Stand back up.
But that's also key, right? Because it was also Elite King who did the grappling and tried to bring his back to the cage, but it was Wicked who went for the takedown, but automatically felt comfortable more of going for the stand-up. So it seems like Wicked wants to keep his stand up as he lands a good combination. Nice 1-2, but gets rocked.
Nice counter.
Elite Kings working his way with the uppercut. Could this be it? The one round might be over for Wicked, but now he's able to get back up, but that's a huge knockdown to take.
Yeah, absolutely. Kingsley, if I could put my channel points down, I would bet that this fight does not go to the round 2. But there's still a minute left, and they're on the ground. We're going to see if they make a fool out of me. It's not very hard to do. And we've got Jan on top. Elite King is trying to find just a little opening to get a better position, but Wicked does a great job getting things back into not side control, into full guard. Sorry, excuse me. And just keeping himself out of danger as Elite King's going to stand up after getting that block held down. Let's see what he's doing there. I see the vision.
Yeah, but he was able to get a nice pause roll with 25 seconds left to go in the body. I mean, the knockdowns of rocks. Elite King was doing such a nice job. But now with these 15 seconds, would you go for it? Would you try to go crazy?
Yeah, 100%.
As we see a nice counter shot going back and forth. As we approach the last seconds, both guys attacking the body, doing a nice job. As that was such an eventful round for our second fight of the evening.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are getting to it immediately. They're throwing early and often, and I love to see it.
You'd love to see it, and you see like a nice show of respect. Both guys knowing that they're here to put on the show, but also competing for that top spot. As we just see, look at the highlights right here. Elite Kings with a nice uppercut, making Wicked defy gravity, getting plattered down to the octagon. Hey, you let me live, okay? That was a good pun, but just the vicious knockdown ability from Peter Young. You always have to be careful of trading into the pocket right there, Frank.
Yeah, absolutely. Piotr Jan's got dynamite in those hands, so you got to be careful whenever you ease into the pocket. Especially, Corey Sandhagen's got very, very long limbs, man. You should be using some more teeps, some more side kicks. Maybe try and just keep him at a little bit of a distance so he can't throw those Looney Tunes uppercuts.
Well, there's one of them right there from Elite Kings using Peter Yan. He is able to get aggressive, using the fades. Well, I love what Wicked's still doing. He's still trying to grab the legs. He's still trying to work the body. But when he gets close, where does the feint go? Where does he sway? Because if he sways back, he's in trouble as he gets a nice uppercut with his black ace was slow. But a good slide step away from Elite Kings. Elite Kings still fighting into the pocket, not afraid to get hit himself as both guys go for an uppercut. But the stamina is so low for Elite Kings. Elite Kings might be in trouble if he gets hit again.
Yeah, EK is really just like figuring things out right now, man. He's locking in defensively exactly when he needs to. He'll get rocked and then nothing else will land and he's back. And staying right in the pocket, man. I mean, these guys are not here for anything less than a banger, and they're delivering right now.
Yeah, and we'll have to see who can deliver that final bang to get that win under their belt. But right now, just so many bodies. Nice 1-2 towards the head, but leaning up, following with the body shots. A good knee into the body, and just working nice with distance. And I think the combination so far has to go in favor of Elite Kings. He just needs to watch out for that fateful shot, that fateful counter shot that he's been dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, but that said, it's not like Wicked is just out of this fight by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, he got rocked there, but he's one counter shot away from being right back in the driver's seat. That's how this fight's been going the whole time, just kind of a pendulum.
Yeah, and you can see him, he tried to use the uppercut to block his guy. Oh, good deceitful move, sliding in, but able to land the uppercut to get another rock. He's using a lot of stamina, but it's proved to be better as it's 2 minutes remaining into the second round here. Tries to go for a takedown, trying to change it up. Wicked ways can't get the situation, gets hit to the body once again. That body is just being backed up as he gets knocked up all the way to the ground as the Elite Kings are able to get more of it.
That was a nice transition. He went to the stack guard and then immediately into the half guard. Just try and get himself, into a better position to get some damage off. Now moving inside control. It's not looking great for Wicked right now. You got to wonder if that takedown they threw might have been a little bit in desperation, because it seems like Elite King is starting to find that flow. And he's getting these denials, and he's just kind of working the wheel on him right now. I mean, he's just moving into, now he's in back mount. It's not looking good for Wicked.
Yeah, but to even get that back mount, he denied, and he's still denying once again. Able to get so much good posture up opportunities, but right now he just needs to play more of a chess game. We see his opponent for Elite Kings. Wicked is trying to find his way to get back up, but as soon as he gets a little bit of a chance, he's into his posture up opportunity, but now able to stand back up as we're approaching the final 10 seconds of the second round right here. A good knee from Elite Kings into that body, just getting messed up, bloodied, battered, and his body is hurting even more as Elite Kings has a masterful second round.
Yeah, Elite King really firing on all cylinders right now, man. I mean, he's getting hit with the occasional counter shot, but for the most part, one-way traffic. He's getting these shots to the body off, and now you can see the massive difference in stamina. I mean, Wicked doesn't know where the shots are coming from. He's just kind of throwing right now, almost out of frustration, it seems like. It feels like you can feel the anger, but then, bam! One counter shot drops him, and we're right back, in a different fight entirely.
That's what we talked about for Wicked. It's that one counter shot, because these combinations from Elite Kings has been doing like so many crazy damage. But it's up for Wicked. Can he find the right slip? Can he find the right avenue to get the perfect punch? He's able to get the uppercut to the head of going for a front kick. He has turned this on its head. Both guys are bleeding, battered, trying to find a way back in. But Elite Kings is not taking a setback. He is pushing forward.
Beautiful slip.
The beautiful slip right there for, as we see it, Frank. This has to be troubling. No one mourns the Wicked because Elite Kings gets the knockout victory.
Oh my goodness. What did I say earlier about Looney Tunes uppercuts? That's one of those why I oughta. Nah, man, but in all seriousness, Elite King really did a great job of just mixing up the striking, attacking from all angles, using all different strikes. You could tell that Wicked was just not quite sure what was going to come next, and in the end, not knowing was what did it, man. Like, that uppercut found its home, and it was disgusting. Congratulations to Elite King. I'm definitely writing that one down in my notebook, trying to figure out who's going to be our fight of the night contender. And Wicked versus Elite King is definitely up there, man. They put on a show.
Yeah, and like before leading to that knockout, he was getting rocked. He got rocked twice from Wicked. Wicked was able to get some success, but it was just that fateful slip into the wrong point and then landed the uppercut. Elite Kings has no fear. He stared daggers into his opponent's eyes like, I dare you to get that fateful third rock, and he wasn't able to do it. And like, just go for that uppercut in that situation after doing deceitfully working towards a body where his opponent had to fear for his body health as well, and landing that perfect uppercut. I mean, that's what you want. That's masterful gamesmanship of the mind when you're going against an opponent, especially when you're trying to get your first victory right there.
Absolutely, and that's a great performance to do it on, man. That's when you can hang your hat on and say, hey, I went out there and did my thing. So shout out to Elite King. You went out there and did your thing. So moving on to this next fight, man, we've got Byrne taking on Vuk. Is it Vuk? I'm just gonna say Vuk for yeah. I realized as soon as I did it.
Like, I was trying to guide you in the right position, but you habitually line stepped a little bit. But we are excited for this next fight as we're habitually stepping into the octagon with this next fight. Byrne making his season debut, going against Vuk, who is 0-2, so he is desperate to get a victory. So, Frank, when you look at the scouting report for these two guys, it has to be a tough sledding for both these competitors.
Yeah, at the same time, man, both these guys are very game competitors because both of their opponents pulled out and they said, all right, fine, we'll just fight each other. You love to see it. They were like, we're just gonna make lemonade out of lemons. I forgot the phrase there for a second. Vuk had a tough start to the season. He's better than his 0-2 record shows. He lost to MTJ and Smudger, both very high-level competitors. 8-3 in season 1, but now he's 0-2. So he's gonna see if he can get back to his winning ways here today.
Yeah, and you know what? We just look at the predictions in the Twitch chat, and Byrne has 137,000 channel points in his favor. People believe in Byrne, and we'll have to see with his Leon Edwards in the blue gloves, can he destroy Vuk once and for all and make him 0-3? Because Vuk, Houston Rakhmov, he's trying to find his way in the red gloves to at least get back in that winning column, to find that winning edge. And you have to think, will that kind of dissuade him from being aggressive, or will he try to fight like a clean fight, like a clean aggressive fight? And it seems like he's doing that, especially with those body kicks.
Yeah, right now you gotta wonder if that extra pressure, if it's playing a part. But Byrne's looking like he's composed right now, just kind of picking his shots, whereas Vuk is looking to push the pace, gets a takedown attempt there. They hit the little shimmy for a second. You know, Vuk is just trying to figure out what's it gonna be, what's it gonna take to get that W, to get, you know, off the snide, because nobody likes being on a losing streak. It eats at you, it bothers you. You know, it starts to creep into other aspects, and now you got to try to find a way to get back into the win column here.
Yeah, and we see Byrne trying to land a head kick a moment ago, not able to get it, but something to keep Vuk in his mindset, like that might be coming as he gets hit with a nice left shot onto his face. But right now, trying to go in the clinch, working with the clinch. That's a nice strategy right there. Able to take him down. Will he stay on the ground, or will he go more to the center? But he won't get the chance. As a good defense by Byrne, but Byrne needs to find a way to make sure he doesn't get taken down.
Yeah, and, you know, he's just casually walking into the pocket. Just, I mean, it doesn't seem like Byrne has many worries, if any. He's just trying to find his offense, but he might have to worry a little bit if Vuk is able to, you know, keep the timing on shots like that. Next one might not be so lucky. It might be an overhand or a takedown behind it, and that could switch things up in a second.
Well, to your point, he had the first head kick, he blocked it. Second head kick, he ducked it. You don't want to know the third time when he sees another head kick. He might have his opponent downloaded priority to get-go, because with 118, he gets a nice counter shot. He's playing very nicely, very calm, as Byrne, he's still trying to go for it, but now he's getting hits to the body. He is getting mixed up with punches, trying to go for a body as he saw his opponent try to duck for the head kick. Byrne needs to find a way to get more shots on his opponent.
I'm liking the way that Vuk is mixing things up, but that said, he's gone to that body jab lead hook combo a few times. We're going to see if Byrne's also able to pick up on that. There it is again. And again, we're going to see if Byrne's able to figure out what the recipe is to counter that.
Yeah, but that block gauge is low for Byrne. Byrne needs to be very careful of the counter shot and the good sidestep from Vuk. Vuk able to get to the center of the octagon with 10 seconds left. Both guys still in that distance phone booth as Vuk staying back. Feels like I feel like he feels confident that he won that round. As we see the stats, 45-36 in total strikes, 19-16 in significant strikes. So Vuk has to be pretty happy with that first round.
Yeah, both guys are doing a lot of damage to the other's block as well. So we're going to see, you know, which wall falls first, because both of them are really just trying to get that chip damage so that they can start really unloading without worry of you know, anything really being mitigated.
Yeah, and I see an important update. Pug dropped 91 channel points, well, 91,000 channel points on Byrne. So there's a lot of high stakes for some people in the chat of who is going to win. There's a lot of people who are putting their faith in Vuk, but Byrne also has some support as they're both still in this fight. It's a very close first round, so you want to have like a defining moment into the second round. And with someone who is on a losing streak as Vuk, that kind of makes you desperate to make sure that you're not leaving it up to the judges.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's mesmerizing, right? Like, when you see this type of fight, it's not one move, it's a combination of moves. They're staying in the center, not really anyone going for another takedown, but the block gauge being low for Vuk, as he's able to answer back with a nice sidestep with a left and a right hook, landing onto his opponent, able to get more of it. Will all those 10 points be for naught, as Byrne is laying on the ground but able to get back up?
Yeah, huge combination there from Vuk, gets him right back into the driver's seat. And now he's just looking to keep things going, mixing it up to the body, trying to open up that one shot that he's going to need to really put an exclamation mark on this fight.
have to see. We're still getting closer and closer to the halfway mark of the second round of the whole fight entirely. But Byrne needs to put something together as he's getting hit to the body all the way straight up to the head. Trying to land those uppercuts, getting up like a slow and trying to go for another head kick, but not in the right amount of distance. And Vuk able to capitalize with a little bit of punishment, but needs to be careful with his counter shots because still Byrne is dangerous with Leon Edwards' pick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, Byrne is never out of this fight. He's a fantastic striker, and he's really showing that right now as he got a good slip there just with the footwork. And a beautiful right hook counter gets him really looking to try and finish that fight. He used a ton of stamina there.
He had the right idea. He saw his opponent moving to the right. He was able to land a right hook that got him to the right rock situation, but Byrne needs to be very careful. If he headhunts for the KO victory, he might get destroyed as another sidestep lands nicely for Vuk, able to land to the body as well. So not only is that stamina getting low, that body health is getting even lower.
I love what Vuk's doing here, letting Byrne throw a combo and really get that stamina drained, and then he'll slip and go to the body, and you'll see that damage compounding.
And we'll have to see both guys still on the phone booth, center of the octagon. Getting some nice jabs to the body. Trying to lean, trying to go for the left hook, preemptively leaning and swaying around.
Oh,
and
he was
detriment. I was thinking that Vuk was going to read that lean, and he was able to guess right, but now it's up to Byrne. He got knocked out twice, and he has 40 seconds left to get an answer back, but time is running out as the blockage and health is blinking here, Frank.
Yeah, I mean, and he's ducking a lot, so you got to wonder, when's Vuk going to pull the trigger on that uppercut? Because right now it's looking like he might slip right into it. He's getting antsy. You can tell because, I mean, he's taking a lot of damage here, but a big right hook might change how this thing's going. A nice answer there at the end from Byrne.
That is a perfect answer because Vuk has been sidestepped 3 times. He was able to get success. The 3rd time, he got hit with a rock. So maybe now it's up to Byrne. Is he reading it? Is the download going back and forth? Both guys are reading each other's moves, and now the ultimate adaptation has to be in this 3rd and final round. Is Vuk gonna get rid of his losing streak? Will he finally get the win? Or will Byrne able to knock the door down and get the win? A nice show of respect, but now it's time to get to business.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you can see both these fighters take 2 shots, and that block health is already blinking. So that's just... That speaks to the danger that both these guys are in, but Vuk has a massive stamina advantage. We're going to see if he's able to use that to his advantage here in the late stages of this fight.
Good defense,
and then he gets the takedown.
Oh, the rock in the takedown. Byrne is in a heap of trouble. That is not what he wanted into this contest. He's trying to get back up, but gets denied once again. Vuk having a nice time, trying to go for submission. He has Byrne's stamina down. He's trying to do his best out to repress it and let that thing burn with a submission, but he's not able to get the full connection as he's going for a back mount position.
Yeah, now just trying to rest, get a little bit of that stamina back. But, I mean, he's got all the time in the world here. It's on Byrne to try and figure out a way out of this position. Vuk can just keep attacking submissions at his leisure. He's got the stamina advantage. Now he's gotten that denial. Now he almost got the submission. If he's able to get another attempt like that, this fight's over, Kingsley. He's got 3 minutes to work here. Now he's in bottom mount. Like, it's not a good position for Byrne to be in.
Especially after that second round, we had a little glimpse of hope. Going to this 3rd round, Vuk says, like, it's time to use our fighters' abilities to its benefit. The block gauge low. The head health is low. The referee has to jump in, as that will be it. Vuk off the schneid as he finally gets his victory in a new season.
Yeah, and, you know, at the end there, very simple. Right, left. When he's looking for the right end, throw another left. I love how he was able to just get that finish with the ground and pound. Vuk was really in his bag tonight, able to figure out the rhythm, figure out the flow, and get his opponent, get him on out of there. So shout out to Vuk getting himself into the win column and getting off that losing streak. I know that's going to be great for him. He's going to be feeling great after that.
Yeah, Frank, I know we don't usually do this a lot on this broadcast, but can we just have a moment of silence for everyone's channel points that was lost into that fight?
No, we're not gonna do that. I'm not respectful.
There's a lot of people who thought
I'm
Byrne
evil,
was
brother.
gonna win
I don't
that fight. I mean, hey, but it was just a crazy situation. Everyone had Byrne as a victor going into that fight, but Vuk
That's
being
why they fight.
83 in the previous season, 0-2. A lot of people was preying on his downfall, but the channel points was to the victor in book, and good for him for getting that rebound because he desperately needed it. He was on that cutting line, so hopefully he has a new lease of life for his next kind of fights there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of felt like I saw the writing on the wall whenever you announced that somebody had dropped 91,000. Kind of felt like whenever you're watching the UFC fight and you see the tweet on the side, it's like one bettor has put $10,000 on XYZ, and then immediately they got flatlined. It was that same energy, so I kind of I felt it. I just ain't want to say nothing.
It's just like real life trauma. You're just like getting that PTSD. It's like, God, like,
hey, if my parlay don't make it, nobody's does.
Hey, true. Sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles, and that's why we love the fight game and we love the ESFL. Again, we are live on Twitch and on YouTube. Join our Discord if you ever want to be signed up to these fights. Maybe you could be in the new season whenever we have it for the Xbox side, and along with many other cards like Undisputed, like the PS5 UFC scene as well. A lot of things are going on in the ESFL. We want you guys to be a part of it every single Sunday that we have events. But without further ado, we still got more fights to go. We are approaching closer to the co-main, the co-main, and the main event, but we still got a couple of more fights ready to go as our next fight is in the fire selection screen, and this one is going to be a bit of a bigger. There's a close eyes on this contest as it's going to be Treehouse going against what remains of Jxssiem. He is ready to fight in the bantamweight division, and when we look at the scouting report, these guys are looking to make up in the rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. Jxssiem is 1-0. He defeated Elite King, who we saw earlier tonight, with a great victory. And like I said, Jxssiem's got a win on him, able to beat him in his ESFL debut. We've got Treehouse. He was part of the 8-man tournament at 176 to start the season. He defeated Storm with a quick submission in the quarterfinals, but he lost the eventual tournament winner in Bum, who is going to be fighting later tonight in our co-main event. So both these guys looking to fight up the rankings, and Treehouse may be looking to avenge that loss later on, but step one is getting the victory here tonight.
Yeah, and this is going to be a big one. This could be a real tone setter for the rest of the rankings as we see Treehouse using Aljamain Sterling in the blue trunks and the blue gloves going against Jxssiem in the red gloves as he's using Figueroa, and he's already getting taken down. This is what you want to do if you're Aljamain Sterling. We know that his grappling, his ground game is something special that made him to become a champion in the UFC in real life. Can we see Treehouse use some of that and destroy his opponent as he gets a nice good denial for his troubles to start out this whole fight?
Yeah, now he's getting some posture up, just looking to, control the fight, start setting a tone, get a little bit of damage off. You know he's looking for that submission, but it's just a matter of what's he going to do in the meantime to try and attack it. He's getting some denials here, just getting some pitter-patter damage. Can't quite get to the back mount. Jxssiem is ready for that, but they seem to be in a stalemate at the moment, at least.
Yeah, but the stalemate is going to benefit Treehouse with all that time
100%.
On top with the ground game.
And also, he's the only one able to do any damage from this position. Even if Jxssiem is able to get out, even if they do get stood up, he's taken a few shots from that ground and pound. Hasn't been the biggest, most effective damage, but it's damage nonetheless.
Yeah, and we see a rubber guard from Jxssiem. Jxssiem doing a nice job, get some damage of his own, but can he find his way now? So this is actually to the detriment of Treehouse. Hopefully Treehouse is able to find a way back in, as hopefully we'll see more of the fight as we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. But it seems like we're back here as we're still in the same position, so we haven't really missed much, but this is kind of huge for Jxssiem. Jxssiem is doing a nice job defending. He's able to get back up with under 2 minutes remaining.
That's a great sign for Jxssiem, being able to get back to your feet with a competitor as talented as Treehouse, as competitive as Aljamain, or as good as Sterling is on the ground is what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
Being able to get back to your feet is always a great sign, even if you do end up back on the ground. You know that you can get back there, you can get back to the feet, you can get this thing in a position where you feel at an advantage.
And another key point too here, Frank, is like when they got back up, Jxssiem was able to land strikes onto Treehouse. Treehouse only did some grappling. All his punches have been on the ground, and they've been that pitter-patter style that you've been talking about before. But it could be a case where Jxssiem has done a little bit more punches. Even though this pot drop is a good opportunity, but Jxssiem had more damage technically when it comes to this whole round as 30 seconds approach. I think we need to see more from Treehouse apart from the top ground position, he needs to land more of these posture up shots.
Still feel like he's done enough to win the round. Just I feel like the discrepancy in ground control should be enough. And also it's not like he's done nothing with the position. He just hasn't done massive damage that you might expect from. Well, you say that there was the advantage in striking from Figueiredo, as you would call it. So
yeah,
it's just a matter of what the judges are looking at. What were you saying?
For sure, total strikes were in favor of Jxssiem, but significant strikes were in favor of Treehouse. That had to be from the posture up ground opportunities, but now it's up to Jxssiem. What can he do to possibly stay up? Because it seems like Treehouse, his game plan is to take this fight to the ground and just suffocate him. He's going to have lower stamina, but now it's up to Jxssiem. Can he do enough damage into the second round before he gets taken down to the ground?
Well, right now, Jxssiem is off to a very hot start, getting a lot of damage off to the body as well. And he's landing when Treehouse is trying to clinch. So he's just getting some free shots. Able to stop that takedown up against the fence, but not the backpack. And now, once again, he's on the ground.
Oh,
Treehouse looking for that submission, but able to deny it is Jxssiem. So,
golly, you had to like feel for Jxssiem. He was doing such a great job standing up, but then when you go to that cleanse, turn around, being a backpack, and get into that submission opportunity just to get in this pot drop situation, that has to be very good for Treehouse. Treehouse using his game plan to a T. And now it's out to Jxssiem. Can he just deny? Can he block some of these? He's not able to block most as that block gate's getting low and the health getting somewhat creeping down, but
yeah, this is the damage he was looking for earlier. You know, when we were talking about he wasn't necessarily getting huge shots from that back mount. This is what he was looking for, and now he's getting it. So for Treehouse, everything is smooth sailing right now. For Jxssiem, we got to wonder, what is it like? Do you need to slip one of these ground and pound shots, or do you think you'll be able to get a reversal whenever he's trying to transition position? But whatever it is, Jxssiem needs to find a way to get this fight back on the feet. Still 2.5 minutes left to work here in the second round.
Yeah, but that's also the key, right? Like, you want to find your way to get back up, but you don't want to waste so many denials, because it seems like Treehouse knows all the denials. He's going to try to find his way to creep his way into a stand-up position, but it's going to take a lot of time, because Treehouse, he's doing such a nice job. He's able to get the posture up, his third posture up opportunity of this round, able to get a nice left hook for his troubles. But it's just, it's easy to say he just needs to get up. He needs to find a way to transition into a get up. It's just those denials are just preventing him. Oh, yeah, just easily tell him to stand up, and it's just magically going to happen. For Jxssiem, he needs to gauge his way. He needs to play a chess game and to see his opponent of which way he's going to go. And the denials are going back and forth.
They are going back and forth, but you know, it's like I was just saying, I don't even see how jiu-jitsu is real, bro. Just stand up. So, you know, I went to the Derek Lewis School of BJJ though, so that might have something to do with that.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, we build different over there. But right now, Treehouse is really getting the work done from the top position, getting some body shots in there as well, and landing good hooks from the ground and pound. You see Jxssiem trying to find the post so that he can reverse the position, but Treehouse just seems to be a step ahead right now as we've got 25 seconds left in the round.
25 seconds left to go in the second round as we welcome all the Raiders coming in to watch some great UFC ESFL action. We are here live with ESFL 178 live on Twitch and on YouTube. We welcome you guys. I'm your host, Kingsley. Alongside me is the one and only Fring as we are going into the third and final round, which that round was dominated from Treehouse from the ground game, able to get a lot of significant strikes and posture opportunities. But it's up to Jxssiem. What can you do as an undefeated fighter to stand back up and just not get caught in the clinch and takedown situations?
Well, he's doing a great job of timing those clinch opportunities. He's able to get a jab whenever Treehouse is going for the clinch. And, you know, obviously, if you're fighting a grappler, I would think uppercuts should be heavy on the menu. Right now, Jxssiem just needs to swing like a bat out of hell and just try and get as much damage off as he can. But that's the difficulty. Yep. If you sell out for offense on the feet, then it's even easier to take you down. So it's just a matter of risk management, right?
Yeah, it's up to risk management. I see Jxssiem, we saw him get a nice, good takedown denial. But again, the clinches, he's getting another one. And, you know, we see Treehouse, if he's not going to give those takedowns, he doesn't have enough stamina to combat against his opponent. That's the uppercut.
Some huge shots from Jxssiem.
Jxssiem, he finally had some momentum. He finally has a chance.
And
he takes
reversal into the takedown.
That is huge. That is my remember. But how can he? How can he stay here? He can't stay here for so long as a rubber guard comes from Treehouse. Treehouse is trying to work it into his benefit, but Jxssiem needs to find a way to get back to the setup. He's able to get a rock. We don't know how that first round is going to go, but that second round was definitely all Treehouse. But that armbar submission attempt is going to be huge for Treehouse as he tried to get it. Will he get the denial that he wants as 3 minutes are passed and it's going down to the stamina here?
He's got the stamina cooked, and he goes for that attempt, and now Jxssiem is in hot water. It's starting to boil, Kingsley. If he gets another submission attempt like that, this fight's done. It's wrapped up with a bow on it, but right now both these guys need some stamina before either of them can attempt much of anything right now. Who's going to make the first move? It's going to be Treehouse, but he does get denied, and Jxssiem is just trying to build some of that grapple advantage, maybe get himself out of this position, and he does. Gets back into guard. This fight could go either way right now, Kingsley, and there's still 2 minutes left.
Yeah, 2 minutes in this final round of our fight of ESFL 178. We saw Jxssiem had so much success with his stand-up, able to knock down his opponent, but he went to the ground, and that could have been the biggest thing that could be a detriment to his success in the fight. As we have 90 seconds remaining, Treehouse lives in these positions. He lives in the ground game. He's getting denied, but he wants to say it. If he can ran out as much time as possible, he's gonna accept it. But a good denial from Jxssiem. Jxssiem needs to find a way to get to stand up, but he is taking time. Time is ticking out.
And the referee's gonna
stand him up. Oh, this is huge. How are you gonna see this play
massive
out,
for Jxssiem. This is massive for Jxssiem. He's got to come out and just throw everything and the kitchen sink and just get to it, man. Throw the whole toolbox at him. Because right now, this is your opportunity. You've got a chance, and you know Treehouse is looking to get this thing right back on the ground and just keep salting that clock away. So Jxssiem is doing exactly what he needs to be doing. He's slinging. He's landing very well in timing with the clinch. He's getting the takedown denials. He's got 20 seconds rather. Can he get the finish here?
20 seconds. Jxssiem was able to get a rock. He was able to get a knockdown. 10 seconds. He is working toward her body. He is trying to go damage. He needs to press the tone. There's not time for a takedown, but it will go to the judges' scorecards as Jxssiem was able to get more damage, but the takedowns, the ground game, were all in favor of Treehouse. It will go to the judges' scorecards. We won't be able to hear Bruce Buffer, but
it's a very high-level fight.
I think that first round might be the biggest difference. You have to think that Jxssiem got that third round, but that second round was definitely in favor of Treehouse. That first round is going to be the hugest round of them all.
I mean, honestly, all 3 rounds were very close, very competitive. This could go either way.
We'll see. Bruce Buffer is going to let us know. As both competitors, it could be a split, it could be a majority decision, and it will go to... It will go to Treehouse. Treehouse claims the victory with an ultimate Sterling as he is now 2-1 in the PS5 season.
And he earned that one. I mean, he had to go through the fire and the flames to get that. Jxssiem has nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, he came out and put on an absolutely amazing performance, but at the end of the day, Treehouse was just a step ahead and just too well versed in the ground game really to, you know, be taking advantage of. But wait, hang on.
Oh,
one judge gave it, 30-27 to Jxssiem.
Wow,
it was a
split decision, and we saw one judge go 30-27 in favor of Jxssiem, but 2 other judges went 30-27 in favor of Treehouse. I don't think I've ever seen a scorecard like that where other judges were so completely on the other side. One value damage, another value top position in ground and pound. And that's why you never leave it to judges, because one judge can see it your way, another judge can see it your way. But that's such a diversifying of styles where you think, like, could this work in the game? Could that one work in the game? In UFC 5, it could go all over the place here, friend.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Both those guys, like I said, they both had an area that they were really pressing. Jxssiem was getting it done in the striking. Treehouse was controlling it on the ground. It was just a matter of how the judges happened to see it. And like you said, one of them was valuing damage, it seemed like, and the others were more about the ground control and the submission attempts and different things like that. At the end of the day, Treehouse gets the victory. The judge's decision is final, but I, for one, would love to see them run it back at some point down the line, maybe with some gold on the line.
Yeah, hey, we'll have to see. There's still plenty more events into the season, so you never know what could possibly happen, as we still have our main event PlayStation 5 Championship on the line between Driz and AKMG. That is sure to be a banger. But now, this next fight, it's the battle of the undefeateds. Both guys have been looking to solidify their positioning in the rankings, and they will have the time to do just that. In the light heavyweight division, that is CD Fortify, who is 2-0, going against what remains of Strictly Business, who is also 2-0. This scouting report on these two fighters is sure to be Marvel. Frank, give us the details of this next fight.
Well, Fortify won his debut at 176 against Cooked, who we saw in action earlier today. He defeated Mound Jax at 177. Now, he says he deserves a title shot after this win. We'll see what the matchmakers and what the the people in charge of rankings have to say. But depending on what he does here, maybe he's not talking crazy. We'll see. On the other side, we've got what remains of Strictly Business. He defeated Jody BJJ at 176 in his debut, and he defeated Joe Goldberg at 177 last week. Both these guys looking to keep the momentum going and put themselves in title contention to see what they've got, what the rest of their season 2 is going to look like.
Yeah,
are they going to be fighting for those titles? Are they going to be trying to get those defenses? Or are they going to be trying to figure out, what changes they need to make to get back into title contention?
I mean, these guys, everything is on the line to be a #1 contender, to have a chance at that title. This is the fight you need to win in a dream match of proportions. John Jones versus Alex Pereira, as we see Fortify using John Jones in the black trunks on the left side, going against Strictly Business, who is on the right, using Alex Pereira in the green trunks in the blue gloves. And in the light heavyweight division, it's a different kind of pace, right? It's a different kind of power when you have to deal. It's not the bantamweights or the middleweights. You need to watch out of every single punch. So using that to the strategy, along with the speed of these type of fighters, we're going to see nothing but a banger when it comes to this type of fight here, Frank.
Yeah, like you said, this is different than the bantamweights and the lightweights. These guys are much faster. No, I'm just kidding. These guys absolutely can end the fight at a moment's notice. Come on now, let's not get crazy. As Pereira gets into the clinch, he gets a couple of good knees there, and a big one to the head. Fortify is not going to like that one. You see him immediately trying to get out of range. Does a good job slipping that overhand, but Pereira's power is something else, man.
Something else, but those slips are something else, as he slips the wrong way, and we see Fortify able to get a nice right straight to his opponent. And look at this, the grappling, the clinching, all the way to take him down. He says, enough of the striking, it's time to take you to my world. And this is where you kind of don't want to be against John Jones, but for Strictly Business, he's used to these situations, right? He's used to being in the muck, in the fire, denying it everywhere, but into this little position, I have to think more of a chess game needs to be go in.
Yeah, speaking to your point, he just seems much more comfortable. He was able to get that denial from the back sending position, able to get that denial there, and he's not pressing anything. He's not worried about, making a mistake. He's just trying to figure out where the denial is going to come from. As is Fortify, both these guys know this position very well, and this is a real chess match on who's going to be able to do something different to try and break the rhythm. And it looks like Pereira does that, opting to go to side control and gets himself into half guard and is looking to potentially get himself into a more dominant position, maybe get back to the feet, but not able to do so on that attempt.
It was smart going to the sprawl, but that deny just deterred everything. And now he's back to square one when going to the backside position for Strictly Business. Strictly Business has been in a situation where he's not able to get much damage and Fortify, as we saw in our last fight with Treehouse. Will the judges look forward to the ground game? There hasn't been many punches being thrown in these top positions in the ground game. Or will striking be the most important part, as we saw in the earlier rounds? With 30 seconds, you kind of need to do something to solidify this round, because it could be a 30-27 one way, a 30-27 another way. We have the same type of judges. Yeah,
exactly. And then Fortify just going to get up. I liked what Strictly Business was doing there to use those denied get-ups to the right side to get himself in a position where he could use the up get-up to try and get up against the cage. That said, his opponent did a good job just countering that by just standing up and saying, all right, let's just hang out for these 15 seconds.
Yeah, and now it's going to be up to Strictly Business. What is he going to do to adapt to this game plan? We saw the elbows, and we can see, look at the replay right here. Elbows were landing flush in that clinch game. The clinch game and the ground game were so nice for CD Fortified. That's how he's got his winning streak right now. But it's up to Strictly Business. Can you get to business and go into that center of the ring and make him fight his fight? Or will he stuck to the ground? Because right now the straights are working. The leg kicks might be a way to disrupt this avenue of the clinch game. Oh, but again, that elbow.
Might make him think twice about that one, but I like the push kick to just kind of reset, make him walk back in, and just kind of figure things out again. And a nice uppercut lands there as he's going for the clinch. It looks like Strictly Business is starting to figure out the rhythm.
Yeah, are you surprised that he's staying more into the phone booth or like not using his distance as much? Because I feel like with... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, both these fighters are around the same height, and I know that Jones has very long reach. So if I'm Pereira, I'm trying to get on the inside of that and just not let him use that to his advantage. And plus, you know, like we said, Pereira's got explosives in his hands. That's not going to do too much whenever you're at distance now, is it?
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see the right connections for both opponents as Fortified still pressing forward, still going to that clinch. Every time he gets close, he's working that clinch. But a flying knee will change up everything. As a nice knee going from Strictly Business, able to get a nice, trying to answer with a flying knee by himself. But now he's slipping, using uppercuts. The uppercuts have been a nice move, attacking the body. I think we're seeing some momentum from Strictly Business here.
Yeah, I like what he's getting going here, because now he's starting to, you know, get these shots to the head, and then he's throwing them to the body as well. He's mixing things up. He's giving Fortified a lot to think about, liking what I'm seeing from Strictly Business. But also Fortified doing a good job mixing things up himself. Let's go for some takedowns. Let's get these flying knees in effect. Like, you know, he's got so many weapons with John Jones, and he's using all of them very effectively. Both these guys are very high-level competitors, and you're seeing that in this fight right now.
You can tell this fight means a lot to both competitors. 2 for 2 on the flying knee is nuts in the ESFL fight. But now it's up to Strictly Business. Already got to take it down. This is not where we want to be. And now the posture up, getting able to land 2 punches. Fortified solidifying the second round as he's able to get the rock with the flying knee. But gets reversed. Nice. That's not what he wants. But now, what will Strictly Business do? Will he stay in this ground game? Or will he try to get back up and try to land some damage of his own? But he seems like he's comfortable being near the cage and into the side control.
Yeah, he's got, you know, a little over a minute to work here, and I think he's just going to try and test the water, see what the grappling's about. But Jones does a good job of using that up, get up, and then gets a big knee as they break the clinch.
This is the type of position when his back is to the cage, where Fortified was able to land that knee, and you saw that knee coming out, but not the flying knee. He wants to gauge his opponent, trying to see if he get up to
huge left hook lands.
Go for the sky. A nice left hook from Fortified as he going back to the clinch, bringing his opponents back to the cage. Not able to get the animation, but with 30 seconds left, trying to bring him possibly down to the octagon. But a good defense from Strictly Business as he's trying to fight his way back in with 15 seconds left to go here, Frank.
Yeah, Strictly Business doing a great job staying on his feet right now. That left hook did a lot of damage, but he is going to see the end of this round, and he's going to have 60 seconds to collect himself here, try and figure out what led to that and what he can do to avoid it going forward.
Cold strikes were in favor of Strictly Business, but Fortified with the flying knees, with everything, with the takedowns, you have to think that's this round. But this third round, you can't leave it up to choice. Both guys still even on the stamina fairly a bit, and you can see Strictly Business pressing forward, being the aggressor, trying to use that jab, but the uppercut from Fortified with the clinch. That has been his money move. The clinch elbow has been the move for him of the whole fight. And he's trying to use more of it, but he's moving back a little bit and growing, but the good denial from Business. This is a little bit of a back and forth in the start of the third round, excuse me.
Yeah, both these guys are really, you know, they've gotten their timing. They know what the other one's looking for, and now it's just a matter of who's going to be better at implementing their game plan. Like you had said, Fortified's doing a good job of getting into that clinch, landing those big elbows. Strictly Business is doing a really good job of landing some body shots and also getting some big hooks as well. He's ducking those clinch attempts as well now, so we're going to see what he's able to do here going forward. 3.5 minutes left. He's eating left hooks like they're candy right now.
3 straight left hooks, just like you're playing Fight Night and someone just spamming the left hook, trying to see if they could get it down. But I would love to see if Strictly Business would just use more of those uppercuts. It seemed like he fell away from it, trying to use more of the jabs, which is good, but if you can set up the uppercut, you'd be great, because he's always going to approach forward. Fortify seems dead set of coming in and using that clinch, but now he's using the uppercuts of his own, so you need to be very careful. And God, StrictlyBusiness, again, those clinches have been a troubling situation for him.
I like that he's starting to utilize the push now. He's getting tired of it himself, and he's, you know, he's trying to get him out of that range. Keep this thing where he can strike cleanly, but, you know, as you had mentioned, Fortify just marching forward, so he's using the teeps as well. I'm liking what, I'm liking what he's trying to attempt here to keep this fight at a distance, but Fortify is looking to get that clinch, and he is more often than not able to do just that.
Yeah, we saw like a good need from StrictlyBusiness, but the clinches, the pushes, and going all the way, they were just walking down the line for that takedown. If I'm StrictlyBusiness, I'm like, are you kidding me? I should have saw that coming. If he's suckering me in, he's gonna have to go for something different, and that takedown was just it with 90 seconds left. Fortify trying to go for maybe possibly an elbow, trying to go for another posture opportunity. StrictlyBusiness needs to be very careful.
Good job there to get back to his feet by StrictlyBusiness. He's got, that spin kick was almost destructive, but Jones just able to get the hands back up. He's got a minute left, and Fortify is looking to just salt this thing away, potentially on the ground. Not able to get it there right now, though.
Oh, I was going to say if he had the chance, maybe to uppercut right there, because Fortify had his stamina fairly low, and now StrictlyBusiness using the clinch of his own with 35 seconds left to
It's his own takedown.
His own takedown, right, but with 30 seconds, I would just say, oh, he's going for a posture. He's trying to end it right here if he can, but the head help is too high, and the reversal as Fortify probably just did just that, and Fortify just win for him in this whole fight.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job of utilizing his game plan. He was able to get himself into the clinch early and often, frequently landing those big elbows, and I believe that he did enough to win the fight, but we'll see what the judges say. Yeah, Fortify able to get that W. Was able to get the edge in significant strikes, 30-27 across the board. So not too much controversy there, just a good win from Fortify, able to, like I said, come out, establish that game plan, get it done, and get the victory upwards and onwards. Congratulations to him. Go ahead.
Well, that's the main thing, right? The game plan. The game plan was the clinches, it was the takedowns, and once he had his opportunity to do those fight meets where he was 2 for 2, able to get the rock, I feel like that made StrictlyBusiness try to fight a certain way where even if he wanted to be aggressive, he always had to worry about the clinch, the takedown, the flying knee, anything that was coming his way. He wasn't able to focus on a certain thing. He had like his mind every single point of where he had defense. And when you get paranoid like that, it kind of dissuades you for the game plan that you had for your very self. So congrats for Fortify for having a strategic game plan and doing the best to get that whole thing down. But as soon as we said that, Fortify, he is 3-0, so he's probably in line for a #1 contendership for the PlayStation title, or at least a contendership match for the next time that we have this event, which is possibly going to be next Sunday. And that's the halfway point, so if he's able to get some victories and maybe a title in defense, he could be in the top seasonal leaderboards for this PS5 season. So a lot of things coming ahead here, Frank, but again, we are on to our main event of the evening, as it's another big fight right here. Someone needs to be above 500, and that's what both guys are trying to do, as it's going to be DavyH going against NM Smudger in the featherweight division. This is sure to be a big one, especially for one who was a late replacement here, Frank.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you broke my ankles with the co-main event. I was like, wait, what? But we got DavyH, like you said, coming in as a late replacement. He lost to Mountain Jacks at 176, also a late replacement in that fight. He was able to get his first win versus AK at ESFL 177, and AK was 3-0 at the time, so that's a good win to get himself on the map. Smudger lost to Naz and defeated Voop. He was 6-3 in season 1, so he's looking to get back into winning ways, build some momentum, and get a win streak. Both these guys are looking to build a win streak and get themselves towards the top of the card here.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. The Coco main event has been a famous spot in the ESFL, because this is where usually we have our best kind of fights in this octagon, in this promotion of the ESFL. And DavyH, you and Taporia, in the red gloves on the left side, and Smudger on the right, using the Conor McGregor in the white trunks and blue gloves. And already, I feel like we could put an over-under on how many takedowns we're going to see compared to the other fights. I feel like we're not even going to see like maybe 1 or 2. This is going to be purely about striking and what can you do against your opponent and towards his body.
Yeah, the over-under is definitely set at 0.5, and I'm taking the under. Both these guys are going to be looking to use the massive power in their hands. Topuria's got that big right hand. Conor McGregor's got that big left. It's just a matter of which one's going to land more effectively and more often. Who's going to land the better shot right now? And Topuria's doing some really good work to the body, but Smudger's really getting it going, really unleashing combos here early on with the hands.
Yeah, and he's just not letting Smudger get any bit of a reprieve. Using all that center head, his opponent's block gauge being fairly low, but needs to be very careful of leaving him out in the open and getting punished. But Davy, he feels confident with his superior pick. He loves getting into his opponent's face, but needs to be very careful because Conor McGregor, he's a southpaw who is so deadly. We know that his famous knockout power is legendary when it comes to the UFC. But right now, left hooks coming from DavyH, not giving Smudger any like breathing room. It's like suffocating how much pressure he's put on him, but he needs to be very careful of this whole situation.
Yeah, Davy is mad aggressive right now, and I mean, so far so good, right? Because he's been able to get some great shots landed, and Smudger's getting some good counters back, but it looks like he's kind of starting to feel the pressure. But as I'm saying that, he is starting to back up Davy just a little bit. A nice left hand right down the pipe lands, and he's starting to figure out when and where to throw those shots. Those left hands are starting to land. He's getting those counter animations.
Nothing beats pressure than a good punch to the face, and that's what Smudger is doing. He is waiting for his opponent to just use all his energy, able to get, I thought he was going to get that nice head hit, but the body will work. He's getting some good counter shots. It seems like he's playing like a little bit of a Venus flytrap, trying to sucker his opponent in, capture him, and now he's on the attack with 110 left.
What are you talking about? He's not even in a jar of dirt. No, but he is doing a great job of
cracking because he's cracking skulls right now. Smudger with a good knee, following up by those 2 punches to rock DavyH. All the pressure that DavyH had is now moved because now Smudger is now filling his game plan. He is able to get that distance, to get that reach onto his point with the Conor McGregor. And now with 30 seconds left, DavyH needs to find a way to respond there, Frank.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say the pressure is moot, but it has been muted just a little bit. The volume's been turned down, and it's right back up to 11. You know, that good old commentator curse. As soon as it's looking like things are going well for Smudger, that right head kick lands, and now he's got something else to worry about. A very close, very even first round right there.
Talk about even.
Yeah,
56 in total strikes for Smudger, but significant strikes go in favor of DavyH. It was some to be seen. What can happen in the second round in our Coco main event here on ESFL 178? This is where the pressure was damaging, but the block gauge was not enough, and Smudger able to get a nice counter shot for his troubles.
Yeah, now you're starting to see Davy maybe looking to get a little bit of space here, because now it looks like Smudger's starting to apply pressure of his own. And, you know, we've seen that Davy's pretty effective fighting off the front foot. How is he fighting off the back foot? We might not have to worry about it because he gets his own counter to the body. And now, man, these guys are swinging. They're just trading in the pocket. Both of them are landing at a very high clip. And it's just a matter of whose chin will last.
Well, I was going to say, like, with DavyH, I would love to see if his head kick if he just stood still and goes for the head kick again. That's where he had the most success. Every time he's trying to go for a body shot towards his opponent, he's getting punished by Smudger. Smudger is waiting to invite that kind of chaos so he can punish his opponent with a nice 1-2. But a body shots like that, as he's staying still, that has to be the game plan for DavyH. Pull on that pressure, but stand still so he has his opponent move back forward, and he's not thinking about the kick. Tries to go for a takedown right there, but not able to get it, as DavyH still putting on the pressure. Nice straight coming from the right side of DavyH.
Yeah. Takedown attempt there in the middle of that scramble, so that might have been a bit of a surprise, but this fight's going to stay on the feet, and a big uppercut lands there for Smudger. He's trying to keep the pressure on and capitalize right there, because now he's starting to look like he could, you know, crack the chin of Topuria. He can really get a shot to land here on Davy, and he's trying to do just that, but Davy's staying just out of range and getting and getting his shots off as well.
The range game, it's so valuable when it comes to these high profile fights. You always need to make sure that you're in the right position, in the right amount of distance, especially when your block gauge is low for Smudger. Just take a step back, make your opponent go for that body shot, and the uppercut landing for DavyH. DavyH attacking more of the body right now, but the double jabs, going for the hooks, combinations flying out high and heavy. Block gauge head up was blinking for a second. It's 90 seconds are approaching for the second round. Both guys go for counter shots. Knee trying to land, gets caught up. Smudger still fighting his way, trying to fate his opponent through the get-go, but not able to do it as we're still in an even kill, a little bit of a balance as we're opposed to the final man here. But
big uppercut
lands! Smudger able to get it, but that stamina is slow. He needs to be careful.
Able to get the
knockdown. That's another body.
Now his body's hurting. Oh my goodness.
Everything's knocked down. Smudger, can he take it?
Can he? He's trying to get that one final shot because right now Davy is dead to rights. Can he survive this situation? Still 30 seconds left. Just out of range on that body kick from Smudger. This thing's looking dangerous for Davy, but if he can survive another 20 seconds, hey, it's a whole new fight, baby. He can come out there and, you know, throw one of those big right hands, maybe change this thing around. But right now, it's all Smudger, and he is looking to keep that going, that momentum up in round 3.
It's all Smudger, but there was a moment in those last 5 seconds as you see the blistered nose just leaking red blood on the face of DavyH's fighter. I would just think if Davy's able to catch Smudger using a lot of his stamina, that stamina went like depleted. It depleted in the last 5 seconds. And if DavyH had a little bit more time, he's able to get a nice counter. Will he be able to use that for his benefit, or will he try to get a little bit aggressive? But he's staying with its game plan. But I just don't know if it's enough. He needs to wait for his opponent to use a lot of it because he's getting counter out the wazoo.
Yeah, and it seems like every shot that Smudger's throwing is getting that little flash from it being a counter shot, just being, you know, it's the old expression, timing beats speed, right? And that's what we're seeing right now from Smudger. He's got fantastic timing, and it seems like that's what's really making the difference in this fight so far.
Yeah, 35% in the lower third of significant strikes landed for Smudger, but DavyH was able to land a nice 1-2 just a couple of moments ago as he's still pressing forward, able to get a nice body shot for his troubles, left hooks into the body. Smudger still waiting, still trying to find that clean shot, waiting for that punch, because every single punch he does, that block gauge is low. Tries to go for a double jab, not able to land, but gets the left hook for his troubles. Smudger, pressing forward, landing
that might be it.
Has the opponent knocked down. Smudger still close to getting that knockdown, but not able to get it. That's a knee to the face. Herb Dean needs to stop the fight because Smudger is able to win the co main event.
Yeah, man, what a performance by both these fighters. But in the end, it was Smudger just staying calm in those high-pressure situations, figuring out, you know, like I said, the timing, figuring out when to throw as opposed to what to throw. And getting the timing on those shots was what really made the difference. He was able to get more damage because he was able to do those counter shots, get that little flash of damage that they show on the screen. And, man, that extra little oomph, that extra little bit of stank on it, right, is what ended up leading to that victory. Got that huge knee from the clinch there to drop the fight and then get the to drop the fighter to the ground and get the follow-up shots that he needed to get the victory. So congratulations to Smudger on a great fight, man.
There's a good analogy for like this type of fight, right? Smudger didn't start the action, he wasn't the aggressor, but he damn sure finished it. And that's what you want to do, leaving an impression in the ESFL. You want to finish your fighter, and that's what he did. He stayed patient in the early parts of the fight. He was like, okay, you're gonna come at me, you're gonna try to do all these things, trying to put me my back to the case, but I'm gonna be a perfect Venus flytrap, and I'm just gonna counter every single thing that you got me. And once he found that right avenue, he was able to push and push just little inch by inch to get that right knockdown to bring his opponents back to the case. A good complete 180 into that situation. And I feel like Smudger, he's going to be menacing for anyone he fights next. Maybe it could possibly be Fortified. I mean, he's 2-0, and now Smudger is now 2-1. That could be the next number one contendership fight that we could possibly see the next time that we're here live in the ESFL live on Twitch on YouTube as well, Frank.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of exciting fights coming up because a lot of these people are coming out making a statement and they're really putting themselves on the map. And that's the fun part about it, right? You get to see all these storylines emerging. You're getting to see people in real time building their legend and figuring out who they're going to be known as, as we go forward throughout season 2 of the ESFL and even beyond. A lot of these guys might be making their debut now, but this time next season they could be fighting for titles and being the guys on the main event. So it's always fun to see people really finding their stride right before our eyes here in the ESFL.
Yeah, and speaking of like strides in the ESFL, last season, Gold 1099 was able to get the real life belt after having so many successful defenses that it was indisputable that he was going to win that season. He's taking a little bit of a break here, but with this long season, there's only 8 events, so there's only so few times to win a successful defense, to put your name on the map. He's taking a break, but if he starts to come back, that changes the whole parts of the puzzle with all these 4 gentlemen who are fighting next in these 2 main fights. That's what they're going to be looking out for. There's so many storylines when it comes to this season that you only have a limited amount of time, that you need to make an impression, that you need to find a way to claw your way into the #1 contendership. Everything is on the line, and there's still play to be molded as we are now ready for a 5-round co-main event of the evening. Our #1 contendership fight for the PS5 title is the former champion K1 Bum trying to reclaim his spot as a title contender, going against DonDataCam. He has had a lot of hype. He has a lot of support coming his way. Can he seal the deal and prove the hype to be true, to be factual? We'll have to find out here in the lightweight division here, Frank.
Yeah, and for a second, my eyes deceived me. Sorry, I saw Islam. I thought it was Habib. I thought we were going to get the fight that never was. Man. But we got Bum, who won the 8-man tournament. He earned the belt. He defeated AK in the quarters, defeated Treehouse in the semis, defeated MTJ in the finals. He did not defend his belt, though. He lost to Driz last week, so he's looking to get himself another victory and then get right back into that title picture, get himself the belt back, and then really get some defenses and put himself one step closer towards earning that belt.
Yeah, and this is going to be big. Tony Ferguson going against Islam Makhachev. That is a bit of a bigger as we get this co-main event ready to go. We hope you guys have having a great time. Will this be a potential fight tonight? We'll have to see. And is DonData using Tony Ferguson in the black trunks and in the blue gloves going against K1 Bum, the former ESFL PlayStation champion of this season, in the white trunks and the red gloves on the left side using Islam Makhachev. And already you can see these guys both won it. Staying into the phone booth, staying very close, but also using a little bit of the distance. Getting a nice right hook for trouble. Bum knows that if he loses, he has to probably start in the back of the line. So a lot of things are in stake for the former champ.
Yeah, and DonData is really looking to put the pressure on with this Tony Ferguson pick. He knows that, with a gas tank like that, you can go all day. But so can Makhachev, so he's trying to take some wind out of the sails, maybe with some leg kicks, maybe with some body shots like he does right there. But Makhachev is firing back right now. Bum is, motivated. He's hungry. He wants to get back to that title shot. He's tasted the championship opportunity. He's earned the gold. He just wasn't quite able to get that defense, and, that's going to stick with him. The best way to get over that is to just get the belt back and get that defense, get it on out the way. But an Imanari roll out of nowhere would make that very difficult to do. No, Kingsley?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't even do it in the game, but for Bum, we know that the stakes are huge for him to get back in that set. But for DonData, he's never been there before. He is trying to find his way to be that up-and-comer, to be that newcomer into the title scene. And the fact that he's doing an Inari roll to get that submission knows that he is game to try everything and anything to get to that one spot. So for him, the pressure has to be immense, especially with the support from like BruceLeeRob and so many others that want him to be in that title contender, to be in those highlight moments, into the spotlight of the ESFL. A lot of pressure could be going both ways, but DonData, do you think the pressure is more on him compared to his opponent?
No, I actually think, for DonData, this is more just like, I'm not going to say a litmus test, but like this is an opportunity to prove yourself against a former champion. This is an opportunity to show yourself, on the biggest stage. He didn't have the best season last season. He was 1-3 in season 1, but he was able to rebound this season and get a win over Wicked, who we saw have a fantastic performance earlier today. So Dundada's got to be riding high, you know, feeling the momentum, and this could be a great opportunity to try and parlay that into a title fight, into something bigger down the road. But as we see a stand up from the referee, he's got to get some things going here on the feet, because right now, Bum has been doing work on the ground.
Yeah, but enough where the referee had to send him up, so he wasn't seeing a lot of action. So it's up to Dondaddacam as he tried to go for a head kick. He was able to get out of the way. The hit detection wasn't there for Bum, but Bum was able to see the right distance and try to use the right hits to go against his opponent, punish him. Oh, a good fake out of the takedown, trying to land on his opponent. And now Dondaddacam, he is landing some good punches with 15 seconds left to go in his first round, first of 5 rounds here, Frank.
Yeah, and you know, for it being a 5-round fight, that's got to be that's got to be less than encouraging for Dondaddacam right now, because Bum is doing a good job managing his stamina and keeping himself relatively fresh as we go into round 2 here.
I just love the bravery of the Tony Ferguson pick in this situation, and also using the Superman punch twice and landing twice with those kind of punches. Bum needs to watch out, and it's giving him more opportunities to look for it. 2 for 2 for the inaugural. Dondaddacam has no fear when it comes to the situation, right? Like, you might be right, he might not have the pressure, but the fact that he's going for these submissions, the fact that he's going for these like little things, and Bum is trying to gauge his opponent, trying to see what he can do, gets a good denial.
Hang on.
Maybe, possibly, I don't know. But he's able to, I think he's able to get out, but man, the
he got some damage off though.
It's trouble, but he's able to get. He got a calf slicer right there, but that's huge for Dondaddacam.
Absolutely massive, because I mean, if you can do it once, you can do it twice, right, Kingsley? And that's all he's gonna need. It looks like. I mean, it didn't do as much damage, so that might be one of those ones that needs a little bit more. But even then, now he's able to just kind of salt some time away, stay in top position, and really put the onus on Bum to get back in the driver's seat for this round. But he's gonna stand back up, maybe try and do a little bit more damage to the legs there.
Yeah, and that's such like a weird way to like defend your opponent, because you could always get used to the single leg, the double leg, but when you're going against an Inari roll or maybe into a clinch situation, that's another layer that you need to like focus on. As the Superman punch doesn't land, he is 2 for 3 on those strikes. Dondaddacam, he feels calm. I feel like the pressure is off him now, and now he's just like in a flow state. He wants to use the 1s, 2s. He's able to land the uppercut, and now it's up to Bum. What can he do in the face of his challenger? He's able to land 2 uppercuts in that clinch position, so that's a good change of momentum for him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Dondaddacam's doing a good job, though, of also mixing in these leg shots. There was one attempted one right there. The leg health of Makhachev's right leg is really getting low, so it's going to be something to keep an eye on as we keep moving forward here. Minute 45 left in round 2 of 5.
Yeah, and you can afford a round to, like, decipher what your opponent's going to do. It's 5 rounds. This is title eliminator time, where you need to figure out what does your opponent like to do. You have plenty of time to play around with as he goes for another leg kick, setting up the left hook, not able to get enough impact on it. Meanwhile, Bum going for the clinch again. He had success of it before, but not the right type of success. 3 for 3 for the inaugural with 1 minute left. Can he do even more damage? Can Bum find a way to get out of it?
He's looking to be a bit more aggressive with it this time. Instead of cooking the stamina first, he was just going for it. Not quite able to get it done. You can see Bum looks like he's just ready for to be on the defensive right now.
Yeah,
25 seconds left.
Not a lot of movement here, but he's just staying calm. Maybe the submission attempt will look good in the eyes of the judges, as stamina getting fairly low, both at a standstill, and it seems like Dondaddacam cannot get it. He gets reversed, but only a couple of seconds left, so we will go into the 3rd round. Toe strikes very even, but in favor of Bum when it comes to significant strikes. He's able to get some damage, but Dondaddacam, with the Inari roll and the stuff he's doing, how do you even counter that? What do you just have to play a little bit more passive, a little bit more distance game in this situation in the 3rd round?
I'm not sure, because outside of the Imanari rolls and, you know, perhaps the leg kicks, I'm not sure if I'm not gonna say he hasn't had a ton of success, but I don't know if he's done enough to worry Bum per se, you know? Because even then you can see there's still a difference in stamina. He's getting the clinch and trying to get some shots off here, but like I said, outside of those big moments, hang on, Buddy's just pulling out flying triangles like it's something to do.
flying triangles, Hell's Gate, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot, especially that you're focusing on another submission. And now you got another one that is insane. But now Bum doing the right thing, letting his opponent get back up, trying to go into
Nice
like a
body
neutral situation. I want to see if he could possibly go for submission of his own. Look at the total strike landing percentage in the lower third, 57-42. So Bum is definitely landing when it goes to these stand-up situations as he lands a left hook.
Nice clinch attempt there by Dondada, though. Not quite able to turn it into anything. But those leg kicks are starting to add up there, Kingsley. He's got to be careful. Bum hasn't switched stances yet. I mean, I guess he hasn't really felt the need to, but he might sooner than later.
Yeah, and you know, that's another part of the game plan. When do you switch? When do you leave your legs or your body into that compromising situation? How much do you take notice of it? Because maybe you're just so focused on what your opponent doing that you're not looking at your own bars. And as a knee landed right there, it goes to the body, but gets able to answer back by his opponent, Dondada, doing the same thing as his opponent. Both guys going to the clips, but a nice right hook landing. Trying to land the uppercut, not able to get the right success. But again, that right leg is blinking now, and Bum still staying calm into his presence, and we're in halfway through the mark of the fight.
Yeah, and Bum is taking a lot of shots right here to the body and to the legs. So you got to wonder, is Dondada's going to keep going with that, or is that something that he's just trying to use to set up those headshots as he tries a couple of big hooks? Neither of them gets through, but the uppercuts to the body are.
Yeah, and he's setting up with that jab, right? Once he goes to jab, he goes to his body. And then when he sees his opponent not react, he's going to the body again. He's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. As you can't fix that left hook, as he's able to put on some damage against Bum. And Bum, again, can he counter again? No, 4 for 4. Do we have a record of how many times that's been landing ESFL? I feel like we're breaking records with this co-main event as we see Bum. I just want to see him do a little bit more, and he's able to get the side, but now he needs to find a way to get against his opponent. Actually, he gets a denial. Excuse me, it's 3 for 4 on that submission attempt, and now can he put some damage with under 1 minute to
go? He's got an opportunity to do just that, but a good denial there from Dondada, makes him think twice about it. So now there's 35 seconds. He's able to get the posture up. How much is he going to be able to get done with it? Not a lot is the answer.
If he gets another posture up, he might have opportunity for 2. If he's just able to get like maybe 1 or 2 punches, he could possibly steal the round. Maybe he was in the submission attempt, but not really much damage. But the damage is coming in from Bum. Bum doing a nice job, and that could be kind of a contested round right there, 33-18, and the significant strikes were in favor of Bum. So Bum could easily have taken that round, even though he got submission attempted.
I feel like the most important stat of that round is one Imanari roll blocked. So that means that he's starting to figure out the read on that. They're coming less out of nowhere, and he might be able to figure out what the counter for that's going to be.
Now we're in the contender rounds as we approach round 4. Oh, the slip into the body. Good stuff from Bum as he's looking like a former champ should. Pristine, going to the adaptability of a fight like that as a flying knee approaches, but able to get blocked. The Inari roll, can he get it? Will it be denied? It will not be denied. So 4 for 5 into that submission attempt, but can he do something about it? He kind of let this through in the 3rd round, but now Bum on the defense. Dondada is trying to go back to what worked in the previous kind of rounds here, Frank.
Yeah, and able to get himself out of there is Bum.
Wow.
It's almost like he's just like, all right, fine. You're gonna try and cook the stamina, whatever. Once we get there, I'm gonna be able to get my my transition off before you can go for the submission, and that's exactly what's been happening so far. Dondada was able to get 1 tick of the submission damage, but since then, Bum has done a very good job of getting out of that position before he's able to turn the damage on.
Yeah, and we'll have to see, will the rubber guard be implemented by Tony Ferguson, or will Dondada just try to find a way to go back to a get-up? Because these punches, it's working. The posture up, that's the moment that Bum needs. Just keep on going for those posture ups, landing as much damage. He will take control of this round and get more. It's just, every time you go to the ground game, it seems like Dondada just suffice to be in one position only as he lands into this rubber guard. But can he do more with it? That's the key point.
Well, in that exchange, no, because Bum was able to just get himself right back and not even have to worry about that rubber guard. With somebody like Tony Ferguson, you can do a ton of damage from that position, but at the same time, You know, Makhachev's top game skill is also fantastic. Bum's doing a good job of utilizing that and keeping himself in this round in the more dominant positions.
Yeah, and we'll see if he can use more of these dominant positions as he's into a situation where he's able to land more damage. But if he stays in side control, now you could use those elbows, but denial after denials. How much stamina can you use as one elbow is able to be implemented? But with time running down, Bum is looking very nice. All the submission attempts have been for DonData, but now Bum looking like he's ready to go for submission attempts as he's taking the back.
He's not going to stop there. He's able to transition into the full mount, looking to, you know, really put a stamp on this round. 45 seconds to do so, and it's looking like he's going to try to do that with the ground and pound.
God, punishing.
Some good shots landed.
Those block gauges and head health were again depleted as the submission attempt gets denied once again as Bum still taking the full mount situation with 15 seconds left. He gets another posture up. More damage getting onto the head of DonData. He needs to find a way to get out of this as now the head is blinking. And we are going to the fifth and final round, and Bum is taking over this whole entire fight.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think he was really starting to figure things out in that last round, able to get that ground and pound damage off, which really turned the tide of this fight, I think. Now, going into this fifth and final, I would put him in definitely in a more advantageous position, and he can look to just fight his fight and maybe get this thing on out of here with the W.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Bum can continue on his advantage into these later rounds. But now it's do or die time when it comes to DonData. He is undefeated. He's looking to make a name for himself. He had all the support in the world, but can he find a way to just change everything, to find his momentum back again? Meanwhile, Bum saying, I have never left. I want to get back to the top of the mountain, and this is one step that he needs to go through. What can he possibly do in this early contest? As we see a little bit of a trepidation from both competitors. We see a 1 and 2 come from Bum, but a slipping into the clinch, not really getting much damage through. And I just don't like the slips from DonData, but he gets his opponent down. But what can he do more of it? It's like he gets one step, but then he doesn't progress forward. He's not going to that next level that we need him to go to.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's not through any fault of his own. It's just like once he'll find one chip in the armor of Bum, he's able to clean that up, and there's a second layer behind it, and he's not able to really break through that opening that he's creating, if that makes any sense. As Bum gets a great takedown there. Now he's on top in half guard, and he's at 3 minutes to work here. Maybe he can really just, you know, cement this fight and salt it away.
Yeah, and that takedown has to be like such a deflator for DonData. He had the submission attempts. He wanted to take it to the ground, but when you're going against Bum, you need to be prepared for every single thing. He has been through the tournaments. He has been through championship type of fights. DonData, this is his first situation where he's into a contendership fight like this, and Bum is putting on the work against him, bringing it to side control, bringing it to side settle, bringing it to full mount, bringing it to again into posture ups, and with 2 minutes left, the time is ticking down for DonData.
Yeah, time's ticking down, but you know, one thing we did see earlier, whenever he gets himself into this position, Tony does have some heel hooks from here, so you know, at the very least, there's an emergency parachute option, right? Like something that you can maybe just pull out and hope for the best. But right now, Bum is doing a great job of just keeping this fight exactly where he wants it. He goes for the arm triangle.
Arm triangle. Wow, what a move. Would
He's
be
got massive
insult to
stamina
injury.
advantage.
Yeah, massive stamina advantage, and also all the times that he got almost submitted, this is just kind of apropos poetic justice for Bum. If he's able to submit DonData after so many submission attempts, he has 50 seconds. He's gotten the chance. He has the opportunity. Can he finish it off with an actual finish, or will he be sufficed? I'm saying here because, a good get up. This
Beautiful
could be the final chance for DonData.
Yeah, that might be the last gasp. He's got one opportunity here, 25 seconds. And, well, I was about to say you just got to let everything fly, but with the stamina advantage, I don't know if you do, because Bum can just catch you with a counter shot and then this thing's done. But either way, there's 5 seconds left. What's going to happen? He went for that flying knee, and you got to think that was the last attempt. He's not going to be able to get it done here.
And it was the taunt after. When he saw the flying knee, it's like, I completely downloaded you in the game, and I was able to get it, as the co-main event will go to K1 Bum, who is now 4-1 and might be the one in the #1 contendership fight, because right now he is looking for a title shot, and it's hard to deny him. He wants his crown back, and we'll have to see if he's able to get another chance at it. But what a complete fight from Bum in that co-main event, right? It was 49-46, but the way he was able to deny, and learn what his opponent wanted to do, and able to flip it on his head, that has to be a masterful performance.
And it almost kind of felt like once Bum realized, you know, that Dundada was going to keep going for those Imanari rolls, and once he was able to deny those Imanari rolls, that the tide kind of shifted, right? It kind of felt like, okay, you know, Bum's starting to figure this thing out. And then, you know, it felt a little bit closer than it was. Whenever you see the final score, you see 10 minutes of control time for Bum. I mean, that's pretty indicative of just kind of how that fight went. Once the submission didn't work, he was able to keep himself in a dominant position on the ground and just use that to his advantage and get the victory. So congratulations to K1 Bum. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to do next.
Yeah, and for Dondada, it's back to the drawing board. He needs to go back in the lab and possibly get another fight under his belt and go back to the grindstone and figure out what can he do better for next time when he's in that situation, because so many of those opportunities are so limited. There's so many limited events, there's so many limited seasons that you have in a fight like this, so you always want to go back. But for K1 Bum, he's going to be looking at the next fight very closely, so we'll have to figure out how he's going to be implementing his next time when he gets another opportunity. But let's take more of like how this whole event has been so far. ESFL 178, we had some crazy fights at the beginning, a lot of different styles in the middle of this whole card. But Frank, give me your analysis of what you've been seeing this whole kind of fight on this magical ESFL Sunday.
They've been throwing hands. No, in all seriousness, man, everybody who's been on this card has done a good job of just trying to come to this event and show exactly what they're capable of. A lot of these, I mean, these are the highest level players in this game, period. Everybody can talk about leaderboards. Everybody can talk about, oh, I'm this division, I've, you know, done this and ranked and blah, blah, blah. But for my money, it doesn't matter until somebody's watching, right? Because once those lights go on, once the cameras come on, it's a different environment. It's something different entirely. I used to compete at one point in time. It was a long time ago, but like, it's a different level of nerves. And for these people to be able to come out here, fight through that, and really put on great performances, and some of them really show dominance, it just speaks to the level of competition here in the ESFL. You mentioned it earlier, Kingsley, but if you guys want to get involved in this, you can, you know, jump into our Discord. Maybe you can throw your hat in the ring, see where you land, see if you can get yourself into some of these events. Right now, you know, like, we've had some fantastic fights. I would say on Fight of the Night contention, we've got Ziggy versus Cooked and Wicked versus fight. Elite King. I would also be willing to throw Byrne versus Vuk in there, because that was also a very back and forth affair. But let us know what you guys are thinking, man. Leave your comments, leave your thoughts. Let us know who you think should be Fight of the Night.
Yeah, honestly, like when we like think about it, Ziggy and Cook was like definitely one of those contenders. Like, you come out the gate and you put on like just a fun fight. It doesn't have to be the most technical, the most like hard-nosed, high-level fight, but the fight that gets people entertained and gets us a lot of stuff, that has to be absolutely crazy. But like when we look down the whole card, Elite Kings had a great victory. We saw Vuk go crazy with his knockout. Wicked was like plastered on the ground. Treehouse versus Jxssiem was a crazy fight. I have never saw a 30-27 go one way and then a 30-27 go the other way. I have never seen that ever. And maybe other people have seen it in their ranked championship fights, but if I saw that, I would have been ticked off and wanted to see if I could run that back. But like, when we think about this whole season, right, with like these kind of performances, we think about like, these are kind of like new experiments that the ESFL doing. Like Undisputed, we had like a whole season, and we had tournaments, and we had like exhibition cards to show like who could be the best fighter and put on the best shows. With UFC, going with these limited amount of events, like 8 events in total, one person is going to get the title. That is like, it's so much high pressure stakes for someone to making their debut or try to get into the roster. It's such like a competitive like scene. Like before, it used to be like everyone who signed up, they could get in. Now you have requirements. You need to prove yourself when it comes to these kind of matches to prove to be like you could be K1 Bomb, to be in the co-main event, to be like Smudger in these co-main events. When you think about it, a lot has changed in the ESFL, especially on Twitch, on YouTube, and our Discord as well.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful to see, to be honest. You know, I feel like I started doing ESFL events right before, I want to say UFC 4, and just seeing the growth in level of competition, activity, engagement, just the different styles of everything coming in, just the evolutions that both the fighters and the organization's been making. It's been great to be a part of, and it's been a lot of fun to witness here.
Yeah, and you know, for some reason, one of the biggest moments, and I love this new part of the ESFL where we have predictions going. Like, shout out to our staff in the back for always like doing the best for us to put on these amazing fights. But the fact that you guys can participate with us with predictions, like RP to like everyone channel points in that Byrne in other fights, it seems like we're getting some breaking news.
It's not the good kind, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's not the good kind, but unfortunately, we got some breaking news from our staff that's giving us the information. So, an update on our main event. Unfortunately, Driz has been a no-show. So, that means the championship will be vacated. So, huge amount of development here in the ESFL. Our PS5 champion is no more. The championship has been vacated. MG will not be solidified as a new championship. You still need to find a way to like win it legitimately. So unfortunately, our main event has been called up for ESFL 178. So for K1 Bum, unfortunately, we have some developments, but for K1 Bum, for Smudger, for other people who want to have a chance at the championship, now it's an open playing field when it comes to the title here.
Very unfortunate, you know. You never like to see a title get vacated, especially whenever you had so many great competitors in the lead up to that title fight who all showed why they deserve an opportunity at that championship. You know, for the fight to fall through, it's a very difficult circumstance. It's not the best. It's certainly we'll call it less than ideal. But for somebody else, this might be an opportunity for them to step in. I personally, I feel the worst for MG. My heart goes out to them. I would think, nobody asked me, but if you did ask me, I would think the MG should get a title shot at whoever whoever the committee decides should be getting that title shot. I feel like MG should be right there to face them because MG showed up. But
MG definitely showed up, and like unfortunately we have these situations. This sometimes happens in the fight game, in real life, in esports. It always happens, and unfortunately it happened to us. But the other thing, when we look at this disappointment, is that we could look to a silver lining. Bomb had a great performance. Now he has a chance to go for the title. MG is possibly, he definitely has to have another shot for the title as well. So that could be our
MG
next
versus Bomb, yeah.
That could be our next title fight when we come back next Sunday. So with that, there's a lot of things to be developing. Be sure to check our socials to get updates of whenever we're gonna have that next card ready for you guys. But in the meantime, before we sign off on this ESFL 178 card, Frank, we talked about fight tonight. I think we're kind of in agreement that our first fight, Ziggy Boy versus K1 Cook, that had to be fight of the night. Yeah, we're in agreement. See, do you disagree? You took a pause there, so I was like,
I did take a pause, but I don't know. Like,
you got to debate.
Like, King was also a very, very good fight, and I also think Byrne versus Book was a very good fight. But I can't. I'm not sure which one I would give. That's why I was just gonna agree because I don't know if I have a strong enough reasoning to disagree. If that makes sense, I just have other things to bring to the table for your consideration, I suppose.
I will say, Elite Kings versus Wicked, that had the craziest knockout, and that was a fun fight to call. So I am definitely down to give it to Elite Kings versus Wicked. That fight was a lot of fun. So congratulations to Elite King and Wicked for being our fight of the night. We appreciate you for giving us something to call and something that was an amazing moment for ESFL 178. We thank you guys for being here, for me, for Frank. Any last words before we sign off here?
Yeah, I'm sorry to Ziggy and Cook if y'all feel like I robbed y'all at the end, the fight of the night. I apologize. That one's on me. Blame me. It is what it is. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/FrankNoStreaming. I'm gonna holler at you guys, man.
Yeah, again, we apologize for the circumstances. We are sure to have a better card and some more great moments next Sunday when we're live back here on Twitch and on YouTube. So please stick around for the Discord, all our socials, to get the latest information as well. And also shout out to the back of the staff trying their best to salvage the main event. They did their best, so please show some love for them in this situation. But we appreciate you guys for always sticking around us and enjoying the fights that we did have, because celebrate everyone who showed up and was able to contend in their fights, because they are the real MVPs when it comes to the ESFL. So thank you guys so much for being here. I have been Kingsley, that has been Frank. We appreciate you guys for being here for ESFL. We will see you guys next Sunday. Have a good day and a good night. We'll see you guys in the next fight night.